If somebody else wants to set up a fantasy football, I'll do it, yeah. I used to do one every year on this channel and host it, but it's too much of a pain in the ass, honestly. But if somebody else wants to set up a fantasy football thing, even if it's a paid one, whatever, free, paid, whatever, I'll be happy to join it and promote it. I'm just not going to do one on this channel. Now, first of all, I'm assuming you're talking about the NFL, not college, right? You're talking about NFL fantasy football? All right, yeah, Robert set it up. Set it up. And then email me the details. My email is in the description of the live show. Just scroll down a little bit, you'll see my email. Email me the whatever the details are to join it, and I'll try to get some other people to join it. If that's what you want to do. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Good to be back. No more trips planned until the off season. All the vacations are over with. Well, I take that back. I am going to the Georgia Tech game week 3. But I'm not going on any vacations until I go to Vegas in January with the guys. So I'm around for the next few months at minimum. It ended up working out perfectly with when we started doing the ACC schedule predictions and when we'll finish. We should finish, well, let's see, we've done 10 so far. We'll do 2 tonight, and then so over the next 2 weeks we'll finish up. We should finish up right before week 0 starts, so it should be perfect timing. And we are, 3 weeks away from week 0, bro. The plan is I will be live streaming the week 0. The biggest game in week 0 that's on TV anyway is Kansas State and Iowa State, I think. I'll live stream that on this channel here. As a kickoff stream, which should be a lot of fun. Tonight we're previewing Duke and Wake Forest. Yes, sounds boring on the surface, but actually there's a lot going on with both these programs. Manny Diaz in his second year had a pretty good year last year at 9-4. Both these teams have new quarterbacks, transfers. We'll go through all of that. Man, I think I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it, but if you're a Wake Forest fan, if any of those exist, we used to have one. Where's our resident Wake Forest fan that used to be on the ACC show every single week? Hopefully he makes an appearance if he sees Wake Forest in the title here. I think they're in for a rough year, man. They got, boy, not only did they have a new head coach, but they took a big hit on the offseason. They lost a lot of people. They lost a lot of people who just, graduated or whatever, or no longer eligible, and they had people leaving in masses since Dave Clawson retired. It's gonna be a rough year for the Demon Deacons, I'm afraid. What's up, Slim? Good to see you, buddy. I feel like it's been a while. Go away for a few days, and I don't know, it feels like a month. Do I agree with the preseason polls? Well, are you talking about the coaches poll? The AP poll hasn't been released yet. I don't know. I mean, kinda. I don't really pay much attention to the preseason polls, honestly. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see, like, who's unranked in the preseason polls and who you think should be a lot higher than they are, that kind of thing, but I don't know. I don't even remember. What was Clemson in the coaches' poll? 5 or 6? I think there were 6. Yeah, I mean, I would have them somewhere around there. I probably have, if I made my own preseason ranking, which I'll probably do that, just to put something out there and make content. I'd probably have Clemson at 4 or 5. My top 5 would probably be Georgia, Ohio State, not in any order, but just top 5. Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, and Penn State, and Clemson. That's 6, isn't it? Yeah, that's my top 6. Anyway, we'll get the show started here in just a second. Sea-Dog is fashionably late, like normal. You know? Over under, will Sea-Dog be eating dinner while we're doing the show? I'm going to take the over on that. Will Florida State be any good this year? It depends on what you mean by pretty good. They might make a bowl if they're lucky. That's about it. Yeah, damn. Can you believe it? Hey, Slim, can you imagine if let's go back 2 years? If you would have told Florida State fans that we'd be sitting here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, before the start of the football season in 2025, and people would be wondering whether or not Florida State was going to even make a bowl game, do you think they would have believed that?
I mean, I say it every year, but people don't believe me.
I know, but they went from 13-0 ACC winners to just like completely fell off the map and literally one off season. And now we're sitting around going, well, if they're lucky, they might win 6 games. Damn. And look, man, I do think that Castellanos is a better quarterback than DJ, but I'm still not sold on him yet either. I mean, let's be real. The guy got benched at Boston College. We're not talking about some world beater. He's not Cam Ward. He's not. I mean, I can name probably 7 or 8. If we sat down and went through every quarterback in the ACC this year, I could probably figure 7 or 8 of them are better than him. Than Castellanos.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. So, Florida State's down bad.
Just to tie it into tonight's show, what is this, August the 5th? As of August the 5th, 2025, Duke football is a better football program than Florida State.
Oh, wow. You know what? You're not wrong. Did you see it was almost like a tent preacher. Did you see what, who's the coach at Florida State?
Oh, Norvell.
Yeah. Did you see the Mike Norvell tent preacher rant at ACC Media Days? I
did not.
He went up there at the podium, and I can't remember if he just went into the rant or if somebody asked him one single question. And he did, you know how Dabo Sweeney just goes on like these 15-minute answers to every question? He did that, but it looked like he was preaching. And it almost looked like he was trying to convince himself that they were going to be good. It was actually kind of sad.
Yeah, it's almost as if Mike Norvell has become the Florida State version of Roll Tide Willie, but he's the head coach.
Yeah. We got a Noel Man 69 in the chat. A Florida State fan says, "I'm a Florida State man. I'm thinking Norvell is fired. Funny part is he should have been last year. Wish we could have already moved on." So even some of their fans, the logical ones like Noel Man 69, are sort of seeing the writing on the wall and saying, I mean, what does their recruiting look like for this next class coming up? I mean, I know it's still only August, and but look, we're only 4 months away from early signing day, so we're getting closer. What does Florida State's recruiting look like going into next year?
Well, you do happen to have the Google machine, right?
Yeah, I don't know if somebody just a lot of people follow that stuff like religiously. I just don't, but maybe somebody knows.
I don't either.
But and here's the reason I bring that up. It's not because I don't think that Florida State, first of all, can recruit well just off their name alone, right? So if you're not recruiting well off your name alone, then you've got a problem with your coaching. And and
even beyond that, the baseline talent they should be able to get with a bad coach should exceed the baseline talent of, say, any team in the Midwest for the most part outside state, just because of how much talent we have in the state of Florida.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely, but the living and dying off of the transfer portal. Everybody has their own view on the way the transfer portal should be used. I mean, you've got one extreme to the other. You've got Florida State basically building their entire roster off the transfer portal, and you've got teams like Clemson who are just taking very, very few, like the most minimal transfer players possible. So everyone can have their opinion on that, but I think we can all agree that if you just have a team full of a bunch of mercenaries, then your chances of success are very low.
Well, and I agree with that. And all trolling aside, I don't think Mike Norvell should have been fired last year. Like, that's as dumb as firing Orgeron within 2 years of winning a national title. I don't care what your record is outside of some big off-the-field scandal.
No.
It's scandal because his name was Ed Orgeron, but, I mean, how many guys step out on their marriage and get some strange? It's not really a scandal.
Right. I don't know. The Ed Orgeron thing's sort of a different animal for me. I think I doubt he was ever going to return. Like, I don't see him being consistently a winner because his entire career he wasn't as a head coach at 3 different places. But I don't know. Is Brian Kelly an upgrade?
Of circumstances and timing, though.
Right. Yeah.
Like how many? Like, I don't think anybody thinks Sark is a bad coach. He failed at Cal. Lincoln Riley, nobody thinks is a terrible coach. He is failing at Southern Cal.
Well,
like, at some point, it's a Southern Cal problem.
Yeah, it is a Southern Cal problem. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show, Sea-Dog.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
Great. How are you?
I'm amazing and fantastic. I got a little bit of a cold or whatever. I don't know. I was on a cruise ship for the past 5 days, so you get confined in small areas like that. Then it's almost like being on a plane. You come back. Yeah. So, but other than that, I'm great.
Was it cruise?
I'm sweaty and covered in grass.
What, Sea-Dog?
You have a good time?
We had a great time. First, we took the kids, which was an experiment, but it was their first time on a cruise ship, and it was their first time out of the country. So it really was more for them than it was for us, just to kind of get them out of the country and let them go see somewhere else. But yeah, I mean, we had a good time. Now, the ship that we went on was smaller than the Glory that we went on for the Slob Olympics cruise. Yeah. And it wasn't as nice, in my opinion, but, whatever. We still had a good time.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's a good time, yeah. I had a freaking blast on our cruise, so...
Yeah. The good thing was we didn't have to drive all the way to Orlando. It was just at Jacksonville, so it was only like a 3.5-hour drive.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So, yeah, I mean... When we got off the Slob cruise, that 8-hour drive home was brutal for me because, of course, I had to drive the whole time. Yeah. But this time it was a breeze. Just drove right home, no problem.
I was living up that 2-hour flight back.
Yeah, I bet you were sleeping or you had your legs up. Yeah. All right, so we've done 10 previews already. Let's recap that really quickly. We've done Miami. We had them at 11-1. We did Boston College. We had them at 5-7. We did North Carolina. We had them at 6-7, which I think is being generous, quite honestly. Syracuse at 10-3. SMU at 9-3. Florida State 5-7. Stanford. Oh man, this is bad here. 1-11. Virginia Tech 8-4. Louisville 9-3. NC State 5-7. Is that it?
Yeah, much to Pete's chagrin, NC State ended up at 5-7.
Yeah. So we've done
Stanford too. Did you call them out? That's right. Yeah. We had them along the line.
Yeah, 1-11. So we've done 10. There's 16 teams in the ACC. We've got 6 more. We'll do 2 tonight, Duke and Wake Forest. So over the next 2 weeks after tonight, we should round everything out. Now, I didn't include Notre Dame in here because they're not officially in the ACC. But if we have some time at the end of week 0, we could possibly do a Notre Dame preview, since there are a lot of Notre Dame people that watch this channel and also the ACC show in general. So if y'all want to do that, we can do that. But look, let me see. Where's my notes from for tonight? All right, Duke last year and Manny Diaz's first year went 9-4. Pretty good. Well, pretty good for Duke. Also pretty good for a first year taking over as a head coach. They've got a transfer quarterback, Darian Mensah, that transferred from Tulane. His career at Tulane was 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns in 13 games, which is not terrible. Manny Diaz as a head coach, of course, obviously, he spent several years as a defensive coordinator in Miami and then as the head coach, and now at Duke. His overall record as a head coach is 30-18, which is, if I'm doing the math correctly, somewhere around 70%, which is not bad.
No, it's not.
Now, he is 0-2 in bowls, but whatever. And they're primed to make a run again this year. When I say a run, I mean another good year. I think that defensively they're still going to be very good. Obviously, the quarterback is a transfer, so it's going to be a little bit of an unknown, a question mark there. What do you think, Slim, about what Manny Diaz has done so far at Duke? Because you're a Miami fan, you have a lot of experience with Manny Diaz.
Well, I hate to say I told you so, and it's true because I preface that with I hate to say it. But I told people Manny Diaz is not a bad coach. I don't think it can be understated what he did in his first year at Duke. Like, beyond just winning 9 games in his first year, which is not the norm for a first-year head coach in any program, but he's only the 4th coach ever to win 9 games at Duke.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
And, that includes the likes of Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, he did take over a pretty good situation. I mean, to his credit, he didn't,
What do you mean by that?
Mike Elko before had a
Yeah, he had a decent team.
so
Yeah, Mike Elko was the third coach ever to win 9 games.
right. It's not like he built him from nothing, but he hasn't. He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't take over the Duke that David Cutcliffe took over.
Right. Or even that Mike Elko took over.
Well, Elko was right after Cutcliffe, and I mean, sure, you had some a little fall off there towards the end, but culture-wise, it was still a good program. I think David Cutcliffe is underrated head coach.
I'll give him. I'll give.
Thought he would have moved on to a bigger position, once he did well at Duke.
We were considering him for the job when we hired Paul Johnson.
I'll give Manny Diaz and Duke a little bit more credit than both of you will, even, I guess, because in the era of transfer portal, a lot of times when a coach leaves that recruited you half your team leaves with them. And we're going to talk about that in a minute with Wake Forest. Wake Forest is decimated with that. And so, I mean, I think the fact that even if it was a good situation, technically, where he was coming in with a semi-successful program, taking over for a semi-successful or a very successful coach in Elko, but in your first year to go 9-4 at Duke is still impressive.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to your point, a lot of guys left with Elko to go to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Now, several didn't, several stayed, I think, because they knew they were going from one defensive coach to another, which, it kind of shows some forethought amongst the players, which a lot of people think that, players are just up for the highest bidder now. But I think that does show some forethought on the side of the players that, okay, we've got another defensive-minded head coach coming in, let's give him a shot. Because like you said, Manny Diaz at Miami, at Penn State, at Texas. I mean, his track record as a D coordinator is proven.
Yeah. So I'm higher on Duke than because Mike Elko left and because Manny Diaz was coming in there. I knew Manny Diaz was a good defensive coach and even a pretty good head coach at Miami, even though he got fired. I still was a little bit hesitant to jump on the Duke train last year. I guess I'm kind of more bought into Manny Diaz and Duke as a program right now than I was 12 months ago. So we'll see. We'll go through their schedule tonight. But let's start. I want to start with Wake Forest. We'll do Duke last. And Wake Forest last year was 4-8. Listen to this. They lost all 5 of their starting offensive linemen from last year. They lost their 2 top wide receivers. They've got a new head coach. They've got 2 transfer quarterbacks. One of them, who's probably going to end up being the starter, is Robbie Ashford, who's played at 3 different schools in the last 4 years. Last year, he played at South Carolina. I think he started 1 game and won it. But this guy has transferred. I mean, I think he's been on every coast in the country in the past 4 years. Started out at Oregon. He's been at Auburn. He was at South Carolina. I forget what the other. That's it. Yeah, Oregon. He was a redshirt, never played. Transferred to Auburn. Played a couple of games there, I think. Then transferred to South Carolina. Played 1 game there, and now he's at Wake Forest. So, and they have a new head coach because Dave Clawson stepped down, and Jake Dickert, who was the head coach at Washington State since 2001. So he spent 4 years in Washington State, is now their head coach there. He's 23-20 as a head coach and 0-2 in bowls. So they've got, this is the definition of a complete rebuild that's going on at Wake Forest right now, which was already a pretty bad team with a good coach last year.
Yeah.
So, I just feel like we were laughing a minute ago about Stanford. We had them at 1-11. We'll go ahead and get it started. But do you guys have any comments on Wake Forest and their situation before we look at the schedule here? I mean, it's pretty dire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you kind of summed it up. I mean, I don't think they're Stanford down bad.
Slightly above Stanford, down bad?
Yeah, slightly above Stanford, down bad.
Boy.
Because at least they hired somebody, they're not hiring a coach mid-spring practice. So that's a plus. And then, you decide to hire Andrew Luck to run your football program overall, which, may turn out to be a positive eventually. But let's be honest, right now, Andrew Luck doesn't have the first fucking clue of what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, he went to Stanford, so obviously he's very smart. But I get your point. And they, you know what, the other thing about, so they've got these two transfer quarterbacks. They got Robbie Ashford, who everyone thinks is probably going to be the starter, and then they have this guy Deshaun Purdy, who was a transfer from Charlotte, and he's a true sophomore this year. So he played a few games last year at Charlotte, then transferred, but he's a true sophomore, and both these guys are turnover machines, at least the little amount that they've played. I think I heard earlier today, I was looking into Robbie Ashford, and he's got something like 17 fumbles in the past 1,000 snaps. It's an insane amount of fumble. He's a fumble machine, basically. So,
well, Cam Ward had a lot of that same criticism, but it now, to your point with Robbie Ashford, I don't think it's going to get a whole lot better because, like you said, they lost every starter off their offensive line. And Cam Ward ended up behind probably the best offensive line he's ever been behind.
Yeah, exactly. If you have fumble problems, the last thing you want to do is start with a brand new lower class. When I say lower classman, not lower class, lower classman offensive line with not a lot of experience. So I feel like the defenses are just going to absolutely tee off. Robbie Ashford, he's got his leg. That's what he's known for. He's a good runner. And so they're going to have to rely on him and the whatever run game they have to try to stay in a lot of these games in the ACC. And their out-of-conference schedule is not very difficult. They play a pretty cupcake out-of-conference schedule. But I'm looking at it here. Let's see. Friday, August 29th, the first game of the year. So if they start off the year on a Friday night on the ACC network against Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State week 1, Western Carolina week 2. I think it's very possible they lose one or both of those games. That's how, I don't know. I'm going to give them a 1-1 record starting out the season with two non-Power 4 teams.
Well, didn't Georgia Tech lose to Kennesaw State one year?
No.
No, that was Illinois. Who was that? NIU.
NIU. Okay, well, my bad. Listen, until I can't predict even a team as bad as Wake Forest to just lose to a lower classification school like that. That's one of those things I'd have to see it to believe it.
I wouldn't.
I would actually give them 2 wins there.
I would,
because I wouldn't have picked Georgia Tech to lose to NIU. I wouldn't predict that. As bad as Georgia Tech was, even under Jeff Collins, I wouldn't have predicted that.
And neither of these are they're lower classifications, but neither of them are particularly good either.
Well, that's true. So you guys outruled.
UConn beat Kennesaw State. That's pretty down bad if you're losing to UConn. They're the only team worse than Stanford.
All right. So you guys can see where my head's at here with Wake Forest. So y'all outvoted me. You both said 2-0, so that the majority wins. We'll go 2-0. To start out the season for Wake Forest, even though I really would not be shocked if they lost to one of those games with virtually an entire new team and new head coach. And forget the rest of it. I don't even how many other position coaches and coordinators that are new there. I didn't look into all that, but I'm sure it's a lot. So this is an entirely new team, which makes it hard to predict, but
it does.
Then we move straight into ACC play. Thursday, September the 11th against NC State. So this is a home game for Wake Forest. Not that really matters. Is there much of a home field advantage at Wake Forest? I don't think so. Out of all of the ACC teams, I think they're towards the bottom of home field advantage. But
it's a cool little stadium, though. I've been there.
Oh, you have? What's it like?
It's kind of like Clemson. It's built into some hills on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Much smaller scale, of course.
Right.
But it's a cool little stadium. I've been to Winston-Salem.
Okay. Still not a very rowdy crowd there.
No, not by any means, but
yeah,
cool little stadium. Not bad.
Well,
I'll go back.
And we've already done the NC State preview, and everybody knows how I feel about NC State, and I hope they lose every game as long as Dave Doran's there. But look, this is a mismatch of epic proportions. I had them losing to NC State.
Yeah, I think I had them losing to NC State too. I'm fairly certain.
What do you think, C-Dog?
Yeah, I think I'll go with NC State here too.
All right.
Even at home, yeah.
Well, I think we know where we're headed next here. So after the NC State game, they get a longer week to recover from that beating they're going to take to NC State and Dave Doran. And they travel. No, they stay at home against your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Well, I've already made my thoughts known on this game. We're definitely beating Wake Forest. I'm not scared. I'm not really scared of them at all. We even if hang on.
So you got Georgia Tech winning, obviously. Yes.
Yeah, even if we have to go to Wake Forest. I mean, last time we played them there, we beat them anyway too. So it's not, it's not that they don't scare me in the least bit.
And they shouldn't. If you're scared of Wake Forest, you got bigger problems than Wake Forest.
Yep.
Oh. I guess the Slim's vote doesn't matter, but I'm assuming he's going to pick Georgia Tech to win this game.
I mean, yes, I'm going to pick Georgia Tech to win this game, and this isn't a knock at Georgia Tech. I think some of it just comes from inexperience from Brent Key. There have been much closer games, even last year, that Georgia Tech had against opponents that those shouldn't have been close games.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, all it takes in a game that should not be close is the ball bouncing the wrong way.
Yeah.
But like I said, Georgia Tech should win this game handily. I don't know if they will. Like I said, Brent Key has some of those games that are unexplainable.
I don't think it'll be against Wake Forest. I think it'll probably be against a little bit better of an opponent than Wake Forest.
I mean, I would like to think so, but it's also like, look at it so far. It's been against teams like Bowling Green.
Well, okay, that was his first year.
Well, and like I said, I'm chalking some of it up to inexperience. You should win this game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all in agreement there. Georgia Tech with the win. Interesting game here. They travel after 2 straight home games to NC State, Georgia Tech. Then they travel to Virginia Tech. Now we weren't super high on Virginia Tech. I don't know. We had them at 8-4.
I'm higher than you.
You are higher than me, but I am definitely not low enough to have them lose to Wake Forest in Lane Stadium. So
No.
So obviously I'm taking Virginia Tech here.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Poor Wake Forest, 3 L's in a row.
3 L's in a row, and it looks like it might continue. Now, hold on to your hats, everybody. An away game at Oregon State. Now, this is, you see here. Okay, no, that's not a bye week. The next one's the bye week. I thought they had a bye week after Virginia Tech, but they don't. So they play Virginia Tech, then they travel to the Beavers. This is an interesting one. Go ahead, C-Dog. Now, keep in mind, this is important. It's on the CW network.
Yeah. Which the ACC is going to shine on the CW here.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna pick Wake Forest to win this game.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oregon State's down that bad?
I think you're riding that train by yourself there, C-Dog.
Yeah.
It's 2 down bad teams, but...
There's 2 down bad teams, but...
Okay, Oregon State's down bad, but they're down bad because their conference crumbled around them and nobody wanted them. like they still have talent.
Yeah, they do. I don't. Did you hear what I said, Sea-Dog? This game's in Oregon. It's not in North Carolina.
I heard you, but you also said it was on the CW.
Now, this may sway Pete's opinion. Oregon State does have a Beaver on the sidelines.
There you go. Who doesn't love Beaver?
Does that sway Pete's opinion?
I love Beaver.
Well, I know your opinion on live animals on the sidelines.
Yeah. Well, my opinion is more about live animals that have the potential to hurt somebody. I doubt that beaver is going to hurt anybody, unless you're a piece of wood.
Well, I mean, according to you, a fucking hawk can hurt somebody. I mean,
of course a hawk can hurt somebody.
Infant.
Let a hawk land on your head, dude. That's what happened to that Seahawks game a few years ago. Damn hawk landed right on top of this guy's bald head with his talons out. No.
Yeah, you see those teeth on a beaver? What if he chomps down on your shin bone?
Yeah, but he's not going to unless your shin's made of wood. Unless you got a peg leg like a pirate. Then you're safe.
So that makes it even worse because then he's going after the handy-capable in the crowd.
Yeah, well, beavers don't respect the handicapped. But I think the beaver. I do think the beaver is going to chew right through that Demon Deacon's leg. So give me the beavers on this one.
Yeah, I got to go with Oregon State.
Well, 2 and 4. Thank you, Hoghead, for the super chat. He says, "Aw, crap." He actually said, "Aw, shit. I missed the first 30 minutes. I'm so mad I could just spit." Well, thank you. I appreciate the support. But don't spit, unless you're outside, don't spit on your own floor because that's just weird.
That is kind of weird.
It reminds me of the Goodfellas. Remember when the FBI raided the houses and she goes, "I don't understand. Every time the FBI raids all of our friends' houses, the women spit on their own floor. Why would anybody spit on their own floor?" And I agree. Why would you spit on your own floor?
I agree with that as well. I also agree that's one of the greatest movies ever made.
We're in a lot of agreement right now.
We are.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you that you agree with me. But thank you, Hoghead. Go Irish says we need to see the Gamecocks against the Beavers. Yeah, the Cocks and the Beavers needs to be a bowl game. Unfortunately, I think South Carolina is a much better team. Unless the wheels completely fall off in Columbia, they won't be facing Oregon State in a bowl game anytime soon. But
don't be so sure. And listen, I want that to happen as well, because those of you that missed Pete's live stream of Oregon State versus USC a few years ago.
Yeah.
Innuendos abounded during the commentary of that game.
Yeah, that was a 3-hour innuendo. That's what that was. For such a shitty game, that was a very fun stream.
It really was.
So, but we're at 2 and 4 here for the Demon Deacons, and things are about to get worse. Yikes. We have them then traveling back home to take on SMU. SMU projected to be one of the top 5 teams in the ACC. Maybe some people maybe even have them winning it. I have them definitely in the top 5. I think this is going to be a beatdown. It won't even be competitive. So give me SMU.
And you said it's in Dallas?
No, it's in Wake Forest.
Oh, okay. I mean, not that it really matters, but I mean, yeah, even though I'm lower on SMU than you, they'll probably still wipe the floor with Wake Forest.
Yeah. What do you think, Sea-Dog?
Yeah, I'm going to go with SMU too. I agree.
Oh.
I think they're just better.
They are, according to us, they're on a 5-game losing streak.
I tried to give them a little props with the Oregon State game, but I won't go that far as to say they beat freaking SMU.
Listen, we're gonna pick an upset in there somewhere.
Well, some of you
kind of my upset was the Oregon State, but
some of you might pick an upset right now. Now look, so after SMU, they got to travel to Tallahassee to take on the Seminoles. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we've already done a Florida State preview. And I had Florida State winning one of the few games, one of the 5 anyway, that we had them winning. I had them beating Wake Forest, so I got to stick with that. So I think Florida State takes care of business against the dilapidated Wake Forest team.
Well, I wasn't here for the Florida State show, so I can go any which way I want. And now we're just going to get in some disagreement. Here's my upset for Wake Forest.
There you go.
I might be tempted to if it wasn't at Florida State. I don't know.
Yeah, but aren't they still at like a quarter capacity because they're 9 months behind on the renovation of their stadium?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think they were 9 months behind, but I think they finished it.
Oh, did they finish it?
Yeah. You know how I know? Because Rooster Man was the one renovating that stadium, and he's back to streaming again. So I guess he finished renovating it. Thank you, Cheezel Nasty, for the super chat supporting the show. He says, Pete, I dip and I just spit on my floor. It's easier.
Dying, right?
Oh, my God.
Dying, right?
Oh, my God. Well, thank you for the super chat, but that's just gross.
Ew.
I'm going to have to go with a hard pass on that one.
Do like a real gentleman and spit into a Diet Coke can like Rec Talk does.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if Rec Talk spits. I think he's such a man, he just swallows it.
Oh, God.
No, that's Sea Dog when he picks up the wrong can.
Not funny.
I'm about to throw up now, thinking about
That's disgusting.
drinking Rec Talk's tobacco jizz. God, that's so gross.
About that. It's fucking. I'm gonna throw up.
So you guys, we got another loss there. 2-6. Boy,
I was overruled on that one.
this is brutal. So back-to-back road games at Florida State, then at Virginia. Now we're talking about. All right, look. I love Tony Elliott. I hope Virginia has a bounce back year, and that Elliott doesn't get fired or get on the hot seat or whatever they do up there in Charlottesville. But if I'm looking around here and trying to pick an upset, you know what? No, I'm not doing that.
This is two shitty teams.
But this is still a lot. Virginia's still in better position than Wake Forest is. Give me Virginia to win this game.
If you say so. I'm gonna keep trying to go for the upset here. I'm gonna pick Wake Forest.
Oh. Okay. What do you think, Slim?
Man, I'm conflicted because I've been trying. I like Tony Elliott, and Virginia is kind of a feel-good story. Yeah, give me Wake Forest.
I don't think I feel good about what's happened in Virginia.
But at least they have. I mean, they have more continuity there. They're not replacing their entire offensive line. Their 2 top wide receivers and their head coach.
That's true, but they're still not any good.
And the game's in Virginia.
That's true.
That's a slap in the face.
God. Oh, listen. I don't like it. I don't feel confident about it. I think Virginia's gonna win it, but I've got to find an upset somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So y'all, I was outvoted. So 3-6 now is what we have them at after 9 games. And I agree with both of you. We have to find an upset somewhere, and we're about to find it right now.
Uh-oh.
At home against North Carolina and the Fighting Bill Belichick's. Give me the Demon Deacons to upset the 6-time Super Bowl champion head coach Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Is this even an upset?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of, yeah, I don't know if it's an upset or not. That's a good point. But if we're looking for upsets, I'll take it here.
I'm picking Wake Forest too.
Wow.
North Carolina is not any good.
Wow.
Well, I know there's some bias there with Sea Dog.
No, they could lose to anybody on their schedule, and they don't have Jeff
Well,
Culp
no.
anymore. So
I get it, but at the same time, like North Carolina is your Dave Dorn.
That was a great way to put that.
Are they really?
It was.
I would say as far as coaches I hate, I think what's his name at Syracuse is probably closer to my Dave Dorn.
Oh, Fran Brown. Yeah, you hate Fran Brown. Yeah, Fran Brown. Esso says Wake Forest is hot dog water. I agree.
I can't disagree.
Both these guys have outruled me on 2 games now.
I think 4-8. I think 4-8 sounds probably about right for Wake Forest. Maybe 5.
So you've got them losing to Delaware. You've got them beating North Carolina but losing to Delaware.
No.
Oh. Well, if that's
I'm not referencing Delaware when I say that. I'm talking about Virginia and North Carolina.
You said 4-8, but you picked them to win more than 4 games.
I said, all right.
Anyway, so look, we got them at 4 and 6. I think we're all going to say they're going to beat Delaware. Okay, so that's 5 and 6, which I think is insane. I don't think there's any way they win 5 games this year.
Really?
No. And then they lose to Duke, so we can all agree on that. So we've got 5 and 7. I don't think they're a 5-win team.
I think 5 wins is their ceiling.
I mean, you're talking about like.
I think 5 wins is their stealing. 4 is more likely.
And we just high roll it on.
Like, let's be honest. Like, really, any program. How many? What Vanderbilt doesn't go 2-10 all that often.
No, but
Florida State last year is really an anomaly. So to say, somebody's going to win 1, 2, maybe 3 games. That really is an anomaly.
I really think we're looking at a Wake Forest team here that might win 2 or 3 games. Seriously.
Well, you never know. I mean, how many games would you have predicted Northwestern?
I'm not even sure, honestly. I know I was trying to find an upset and said that they would beat North Carolina, but I'm not even sure about that. I think they might win their 3 lower classification teams: Delaware, Kennesaw State, and Western Carolina. I'm not sure they'll win a single ACC game. Well, and they're probably going to lose to Oregon State, too.
Did you say the same thing about Northwestern when they had the Dingling car wash and then they lost their coach 2 weeks before the season started?
Different situation.
It's completely different, but they had a new coach going, a couple weeks before the season. It's a sport that doesn't make any sense.
We can agree there, but
would Wake Forest going 5 and 7 really be the most outlandish thing in the world?
Yeah. I don't even know. I haven't even looked it up. I don't know what the over/under win total in Vegas is for Wake Forest this year, but I bet you it's less than 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be at 5.
Let's look at it. I'm gonna look at it. Wake Forest. Over under.
Yeah, look that up.
I hope you guys can't hear them.
I can hear. Was that your dog?
Yeah, it's my dog. He's playing with a pig.
What?
He's got a little pig.
To say, it sounds like you got a pig or something.
He's got a little pig toy.
Oh, a pig toy. Okay.
And it honks when you squeeze it.
All right. I thought you were talking about a real pig. I was like, what are you doing to a pig in your house?
That would be funny.
Listen, I know somebody who had one. One of these girls decided they wanted to get one of those micro potbelly pigs, and that motherfucker made it about 9 months before we were tired of him biting people, and he ended up on the grill. I'm not playing.
You ate somebody's pet potbelly pig?
Shit, all of us did. That motherfucker bite the shit out of you.
Boy, oh boy.
Okay, so it looks like. What the hell? Where can I even find this?
Go to I don't know. You can go to draft. It's not legal to gamble here in South Carolina, so my site looks different than most people. But you probably go to DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever, and just go to futures. I don't know, but
that's annoying that I can't just Google it. They have some long shot odds though, plus 35,000 to win the ACC.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a single penny on that.
Yeah. If that tells you anything.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
So anyway, we got them at 5-7. Now that I don't think they're going to win 5 games, but that's what we came up with as a group here. So that is what it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and they'll be better than I thought. But like I said, when you're talking about they're breaking in a new head coach, 5 new offensive linemen, replacing their top 2 wide receivers. I think they returned some of the back end of their defense, like some of their corners. So I guess they'll be okay there. One of their linebackers, but their defense is going to have to play out of their mind. I think offensively they're going to be pretty bad unless Robbie Ashford comes out there and just is a complete savior.
I found it. It's 4.5. So we're on track.
All right.
Yeah, we're right on track.
Right on track.
I said 4 or 5 games.
All right, I'm gonna go with. If it's 4.5, I'm taking the under at 3 or 4, and you guys are taking the over at 5 and 7.
I would take the under, honestly.
Okay, so
yeah, I'd probably take the under too, because I like I said, I think 4 is right on the money.
Quit.
And I share your concern with Robbie Ashford, not just the problems that he's had, but let's be honest about it. When it comes, especially to transfer quarterbacks, they're almost when you have multiple transfers like that, they're almost all a bust. With one exception right now.
who's that?
Cam Ward.
Yeah. But Robbie Ashford's played, again, like I just mentioned, 3 teams in 4 years.
Yeah, that's rough.
So,
but once again, so did Ward.
Now, he played for 3 teams that had solidified starters. He just didn't want to wait his turn. So that's pretty much all that was. I mean, he was a highly recruited guy coming out of high school. It wasn't like he's, some scrub off the street. But I don't really trust these guys that aren't.
Say he didn't want to wait his turn, but look at, they kept bringing in other transfers at Oregon. He got to Auburn. They kept bringing in other transfers there. So is that not waiting your turn, or is that just seeing the writing on the wall?
Well, so if you're not willing to compete for the spot, you don't really think that highly of yourself. No, and look, I don't know the situation. Maybe the coaches came to him and told him straight up, like, you're going to be third string. Like, so if you want to jet, this is your chance to do it. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know, but
and that's kind of what I'm alluding to. That's definitely a possibility.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And look, I'm not saying Robbie Ashford's a bad player. We haven't seen him. He's only started a few games in his career. It's not like he's has a whole lot of tape on him. So he might have.
I don't get the South Carolina thing. He started this game. He won.
Yeah, and he threw for like 350 yards and three touchdowns, I think. But the reason is because Lenore Sellers is the starter and is certified there. That's not changing.
Well, no. Was Lenore Sellers really the solidified starter in the offseason? I don't think so. And for all the love he's getting, I don't think Lenore Sellers is a bad player. But do his numbers really jump off the page at you? No, they don't.
Well, you said he wasn't the certified starter. He just transferred this year. So, yeah, he was after last season, Lenore Sellers was definitely the certified starter this year, coming into this year. So,
yeah, coming into this year. But what I meant is last offseason, Lenore Sellers was not the solidified starter.
Right.
And Robbie Ashford won the one game that he started. I don't think especially that. I don't think it's quite as cut and dry as.
Well, you're kind of proving my point. It seems to me like the coaches are seeing, we're not there at practice and everything every day. So it seems like they're seeing something we're not, which is, not good outlook for him. And I'm not rooting against the kid. I don't have anything against the kid at all. So I hope he goes out there and proves me wrong and has a great year at Wake Forest and all that. But I just don't think that even if he is a great player, I just don't think he's enough. They've got a lot of other issues and holes in their roster. So we'll move on.
Well, that being said, I'll throw this final food for thought out there. You go back to 2010, a lot of people had the same outlook about Auburn, and they got this guy named Cam Newton. Name me another player off that team.
Well,
wait.
I don't think that's quite a fair comparison.
Well, I'm not saying he's Cam Newton, but we've seen, a guy come in and transfer, by the way, had to go to a lower classification because of
Yeah, he went down to
Florida.
JUCO, won a JUCO national title, I think. Cam did. Was the player of the year in JUCO.
Yeah, he played well. I know that.
But he didn't go to JUCO because of his playing ability. He went there because he got in trouble at Florida. So
he stole somebody's laptop.
Well, that was the accusation. Whatever the point was, it wasn't because he wasn't a good player. It was because he got in trouble and nobody wanted to touch him with a 10-foot pole. So that wasn't a playing issue, or a talent issue or whatever. But anyway, we'll move on to Duke now. Like we mentioned earlier, Duke with a great season last year by Duke standards, with a first-year head coach and Manny Diaz, 9-4. Was it? No. Who's the one that Ole Miss beat like a drum in the bowl game? That was Wake Forest, wasn't it?
No, I think that was Duke.
Was it Duke?
But I also
whatever.
think their quarterback was out at that point. Like I don't think Malik Murphy played.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, it was.
Listen, as much as I don't like it, you can take bowl games with a grain of salt at this point.
So they bring in Darian Mensah from Tulane, and he started 13 games in his career so far. 2,723 yards, 22 touchdowns in 13 games. Not terrible, not great, but I do think he's a good player. They start off the season on a Thursday, that Thursday of Labor Day weekend, versus Elon. So this is a home game against Elon. I'm obviously going to give Duke the win there.
Yeah.
So, want to know. This is interesting here. Their next game is an out-of-conference game in the Big Ten against Illinois. I'm going to start with Slim.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know enough about Illinois to speak intelligently of them. I mean, I know Brent Bielema was the coach. Brent Bielema seems more concerned with off-the-field shit, though. Like, he tried to start a fight with Shane Beamer during the game. He had words for Mario Cristobal because Mario come and pulled the best defensive lineman out of the state.
What's bigger, Brett Bielema's mouth or his belly?
Ooh, that's a good comparison. I'm gonna go with his mouth. Now listen, I would have loved to have seen a throwdown at midfield between Shane Beamer and Brett Bielema.
Oh, he would have tied. He would have. Look, I'm making a joke. He would have tied up Shane Beamer like a pretzel. Yeah, he would have. But yeah, he does have a big mouth.
At least he didn't pull a Dan Mullen and have to fake somebody holding him back.
No, yeah, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was. I'm going to take Duke here because I think Duke, despite what their offense will look like, because that's going to be the question mark, I think Manny's defense is going to keep them in a lot of games this year.
I agree.
Give me Duke.
I'm not going to even. This isn't even a question to me. Now I haven't seen the line, but if you're asking me to bet on who's winning right now, I'm taking Duke 100 times out of 100. I'm not even going to think about it. So give me Duke in this one. Game's in Duke too, for anybody who thinks that matters. But it is a road game for Illinois.
Yeah, ACC.
There you go. 2-0 for the Blue Devils. All right, then they go on the road at Tulane. Let's start with Sea-Dog this time. Now Tulane's quarterback transferred now. And guess who he plays for?
To Duke.
That's right, Duke.
Think I'll have to go with Duke, if no other reason than for that.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, Tulane isn't turning over offensive coordinators or anything big.
Yeah.
and they lost their quarterback. So, I mean, at the very least, he's going to have an intimate knowledge of Tulane's offense.
Intimate knowledge.
And then lose their entire roster?
Do what now?
Wasn't it Tulane that won their conference and then lost the entire roster?
Yeah, they had to.
But that was like 2 years ago, though.
Was it? It wasn't 2 years ago.
No, they had to forfeit their bowl game, right?
Yeah, everybody went to, was it Southern Miss, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Tulane no, that wasn't Tulane. That was, I thought that was Marshall that they players got pissed that they wouldn't extend the coach.
Yeah, that happened.
Marshall?
That did happen at Marshall, yeah. Is Duke the best program in North Carolina right now? You know what?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, look, I think it's a little early to say that, but if they outperform NC State this year, like I think they're going to, they will be after this season. If they do that.
I mean, they were the best program in North Carolina last year.
They were last year, yeah. But consistency. If they do it 2 years in a row, I think they'll take that flag. And also, I think that maybe, just maybe, the people at NC State will wake up and see Dave Dorn's a dead end. And maybe if Duke becomes the best program in that state, they might have to move on from that dumbass.
So if Duke isn't the best program right now, then who is?
Well, I still think it's NC State just for longevity reasons. But
NC State.
Yeah, but I think Duke is knocking on the door saying, "Hey, we're about to take your spot." I think they really are.
When was the last time NC State won 9 games?
Like 3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, Duke has done it 3 times in the last decade.
Yeah.
Or decade and a half. So, yeah. And North Carolina's in the toilet. Wake Forest is what Wake Forest is. Right
no,
now.
but they're even worse than Wake Forest.
Duke is the. Yeah, Duke is the best program in the state of North Carolina.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Obviously, I'm higher on Duke this year than I am on NC State. So I'm just saying after this year is when I think you can make that official statement. But I think they're well on their way. So. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the schedule on the screen. Thank you. There it is. So anyway, we got 2-0 after Illinois at Tulane. I agree with you guys. I'm taking Duke here. So
3-0 Duke.
3-0 to start the season for the Dukies. We're not talking about basketball. This is a football team here, guys. Imagine this. Speaking of NC State, the week after Tulane, they go back home to Dookie and play NC State.
And beat them like a drum.
And beat Dave Dorn. Dave Dorn's gonna have. He might have to put on some sort of, the wig with the glasses connected to it. He might have to put that on to get out of there. He's gonna be in such shame after this ass whooping that Duke's gonna put on him.
Now, if Duke wins that game by 3 touchdowns, would you be willing to give Duke that claim then that they're the best team in the state of North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they'll
have it by week 4, according to PigskinPeete.
I think they're going to be the best team in the North Carolina this year. Anyway, I just want to see it happen before I make that claim. But I'm with you. So what do you got? You all agree with me? Duke beats NC State, or is anybody picking NC State?
I agree.
All right, 4-0.
I'm going to pick them to win most games. I think they're one of the better teams in the conference.
I agree. Then they travel to Syracuse the next week. Your favorite team, Sea-Dog, the Fighting Oranges, with, as you call him, Fran Clown.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you have Duke winning this game.
Yeah, it's with great pleasure that I'm going to pick Duke here. Pick Syracuse to take a massive L.
All right, I'm going to go next.
I don't have the hate that Sea-Dog does.
I don't either.
For Fran Brown, but I will say this. Well, hang on. I will say this. I do have a deep mistrust for any guy named Fran.
What about St. Francis?
Fuck him.
Damn.
His name's Francis, not Fran.
I think Fran is short for Francis, sir.
I don't know. We may need some confirmation on that, but I fuck them both.
Anyway. So I'm looking at this schedule, and I'm high on Duke this year as well. And like I mentioned earlier in the show, I'm finally starting to jump on the train that Duke is building a decent program in the ACC. But I do not want to get ahead of my skis here and like Duke's going 10-2 or something. So I've got to find some losses. I'm looking down the schedule. I see a couple on there, but I got to say on the road,
but Syracuse ain't it.
On the road at Syracuse, I'm taking the orange people.
Ooh.
I'm taking the orange people there
because that's historically a tough place to go.
Yeah,
which is weird to say, but it is.
But it is, yeah. It's a weird stadium. It's unlike any other stadium in the country, really.
But Syracuse's defense was even worse than Miami's and Clemson's last year, and they lost everything on offense that made them good.
Yeah, I think they did pretty well in the transfer portal, though.
Well, I'm not debating that, but I take the same tact with that I take with my own team. If I've seen them do good some other place, great. I have to see them do good in a Miami uniform, or in this case, a Syracuse uniform.
Yeah. All right, so I've got Syracuse. Slim has Duke. Who you got? Well, you got Duke too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen to this. The ACC show.
I just think Syracuse has taken such a step back.
We're either really smart or really dumb. We've got Duke starting the season out 5-0. When was the last time Duke started the season 5-0?
I don't know, but we had somebody like starting off 4-0 and then they lost like.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Let's look here because I think they started the season 5-0 last year, didn't they? Hold on.
There you go.
Well, they beat Clemson like week 1.
No, I'm talking last year. Last year,
I remember that. Wow.
They didn't. Yeah, last year they didn't play Clemson.
Was that 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago. But here we go. Last year, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last year they started 5-0. And guess what? They beat Elon, Northwestern, UConn, Middle Tennessee, and North Carolina. So, I mean, like 4 of those are shit teams. And then North Carolina, which was a shit team last year. So they beat 5 shit teams in a row to start the season last year. That's not that impressive. If they went 5-0 this year, it'd be way more impressive because they play at least a little bit better teams than that. Like, that was a terrible schedule they had. But anyway, all right, 5-0. Now we can get back on the Duke winning track. Now we might be 6-0 here at Cal. Yeah, give me Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, damn. So, now, all right, so let's do this again. When was the last time they started 6-0? It's been a while. It didn't happen last year either.
If ever.
If ever. Well, maybe ever. Ever's a long time, but it's been.
Well, Elko won 9 games, but they lost their opening game that year to
yeah.
So, I mean, they didn't start off 5-0 or 6-0, but they still won 9 games, so.
Boy, I'm saying this is this. If we're right, this could end up being a very good season for the Dukies. But now hold on. After Cal, they run into a buzzsaw here these next couple of weeks. You got Saturday, October the 18th. Now Georgia Tech has to go on the road at Dookie. I'm still taking the Jackets.
Yeah, Duke is a team that we kind of own them. Like, even when they're good and we aren't that good, we still always manage to beat them. Like, Jeff Collins beat them a couple times. Like, I don't know. We just seem to have their number, no matter how good or bad either team is.
There you go.
I tend to agree, but I think this will be a slobber knocker of a game.
Oh yeah,
because this is 2 teams that with their head coaches like to play a physical style of football. Yeah. And that's what you're going to see. It's going to be a long, drawn out football game.
I said all that not to say that it's not competitive, but because
well, I think this one especially will be.
They usually are, yeah.
Like, I'm going to pick Georgia Tech, but I will not be surprised if Duke wins this game.
I wouldn't either.
And that leads us into this next one because I feel the same way about Clemson. They after they play Georgia Tech, they go on the road and play at Clemson.
This is a bust off.
I did a path to the playoffs video today about Clemson. I talked in detail about Duke, and I don't think this is. Look, I know all the jokes about the season opener a couple of years ago when Clemson got beat like a drum by Duke, and everyone's laughing about that. It was funny if you're not a Clemson fan, but look, this isn't the same Clemson team that we in Cade Klubnik's first year as a starter. We had basically no wide receivers that year. We had a lot of issues going on there. Okay. This isn't the same team. This game's in Death Valley. I'm taking Clemson, but I do think that Duke is going to be good enough defensively to cause some problems for Clemson. And so a ball bounce this way, like Slim said, ball bounce that way, a couple of turnovers. This game could be close in the fourth quarter. I'm still taking Clemson. I just think they're way better on paper. So I think most people will be picking Clemson to win this game, but I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah, I think Clemson's going to be one of the better teams in the conference, or the best team in the conference. It might be a tough game, but I would also pick Clemson.
I think Clemson is going to be good enough offensively that I'm going to agree with Pete for a half. I think it'll be kind of like the Miami-Duke game from last year, where Duke kind of, because of a turnover, because of a ball bouncing the right way, Duke sticks in it for the first half, but come the second half, that offense is going to start having their way.
Now, this is pretty crazy. If you look at their last 4 games, Duke should be favored in all 4. They go after Clemson, they go at UConn, then home against Virginia, then at North Carolina, which is a rival game, obviously, then versus Wake Forest at home. So do you guys see them losing any of these games? I mean, I guess possibly they could fall.
They're going to lose one of them.
Which one? I
don't know. I just don't see Duke rattling all, especially I could see, where's the bye week in there?
What are the chances
that I need to know?
There isn't one in those 4 games?
Okay. Because I think after taking 2 straight losses, they could you see it all the time with other teams. They'll let a couple of losses, and one of them I think is going to be a bad one to Clemson. They'll let it beat them twice.
So that's interesting because so possibly they could lose to Clemson and then take that into at UConn. And look, we all know UConn's not a powerhouse in football, but they're not the UConn they were 5 years ago either. I mean, UConn was like a toilet bowl. They're actually somewhat respectable. They're not good, but they're somewhat respectable. You think that they could go on the road at Connecticut and let the Clemson loss beat them twice?
I've seen weirder things happen.
Yeah. So I'm going to agree with you here. Now, if you're asking me if I want to bet on any of these games individually, I'm betting on Duke to beat any of these last 4 teams. You got UConn, Virginia, North Carolina, Wake Forest. But I could see a scenario where if they lose to Georgia Tech and Clemson, that they do drop at least one of these last 4 games. So that would put them at 9-3 again. If they win all 4, that would put them at 10-2.
I could totally see 10-2.
I have a hard time seeing 10-2. Like, I think 9-3 is probably their ceiling, and they probably lose another game that they should win.
I'm with both of you guys. Look, I'm not going to sell out here because we pick these game by game and not schedule, right? So I got to say they win the last 4 games, and that puts them at 10-2 for me.
Yeah.
So, and Sea-Dog agrees?
I do. I think they're the best team in the state of North Carolina, and one of the best in the ACC, potentially the second best. Let's see. Maybe they don't play Miami, so I
can't believe that.
Well, wait a minute. You having them at 10-2 would have them better than SMU.
It would be, yeah.
I think they'll be better than SMU.
Look, now, first of all, it doesn't mean they're better than SMU because they don't play SMU. It just means they won more games on their schedule.
Yeah.
It just means they won more games on their schedule.
Yeah, Duke does have
they pretty favorable
schedule here.
I mean, they're out of
could
conference.
see-
Look, let's call it what it is. They're out of conference is a joke.
I could see
It's
a
just-
loss to Illinois.
I mean, they've got UConn. Let's do their out of schedule is UConn, Tulane, Illinois, and Elon. I mean,
You
come
know what
on.
I could also see too. I could see Duke really feeling themselves the last week of the season and fuck it up.
Yeah. So I mean, I think 9-3 is probably more realistic. If they win all the games they should probably go about 10-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think 8 or 9 wins is much more likely.
Yeah, somewhere between 8 and 10. So we'll just give it that window there. But nonetheless, if they come anywhere close to that, if you have back-to-back 9-win seasons for Manny Diaz at Duke, I mean that's good. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it.
Dude, he gets back-to-back, and I hate to say this for any Duke fans, he goes 9 wins in back-to-back years, somebody's blowing up his phone.
So you think what you're saying is he's out of Duke? He's out of there.
I think he would get a hell of an offer. Now, whether or not he takes it, I don't know.
Now let's paint this
I think
picture
he
here.
gets an offer.
I'm glad you brought that up. And again, we're projecting way ahead here. But let's just say that he does go 9-3 or 10-2 in the at Duke. Florida State has another abysmal year, 3 or 4 wins, 5 wins, whatever. Misses a bowl game. Does Florida State give Manny Diaz?
Florida State alum.
Now, and he was a graduate assistant. He started his coaching career at Florida State
We're on to something.
as a
He
GA.
did. He was a GA under Bobby Bowden.
He was. Boy,
Wow.
do you know what they say? The chickens always come home to roost, Slim.
Now, you know what's funny, though? He never actually played football at Florida State. He was like a
Towel boy?
broadcast major or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
So he's the guy that poured the Gatorade.
I don't even think he did that. I think he was like, if you had whatever the version of it was before social media, the little social media guy on the sideline, that would have been Manny.
I almost hope that happened. I mean, the meltdown, just the content alone, with Manny Diaz being the head coach at Florida State's worth its weight in gold.
Oh, it is. And I mean, imagine the next year when Miami plays Florida State.
Yeah.
Because Manny only beat Florida State once, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
In 2019 with Jaron Williams.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is the most surprising preview that we've done. I mean, I figured we'd have a Duke winning somewhere around 8 or 9 games between the three of us here, but I did not predict that we'd end up with 10-2. I did not see that coming. So,
Yeah, well,
but hey, look, this is a scientific process that's been proven. This isn't theoretical.
over years.
Years of the ACC show, and we have a high success rate in predicting. This is why I don't just do it myself. And if I just picked the schedule myself and didn't have other people, pushing against me and giving me good points or why I'm wrong, then I'd be wrong all the time. The fact that we have 3 idiots that put their head together makes it that we're a genius when you put all of our heads together.
Yeah.
You get 3 80 IQs, that's 160.
Exactly.
380 IQs makes 160.
Exactly.
You're damn right.
So that makes the ACC show the equivalent of the Albert Einstein of college football.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I'd like to see the SEC show come up with predictions.
You can't even get an SEC show to last longer than 2 episodes on YouTube.
That's right. What episode is this? This is the what is it? 138th episode of this show.
The only way there would be a SEC show worth the fuck that actually stayed on the air would be if we changed the name of this show.
Ah, damn! Oh my god!
Dying.
Oh my god! Well, there you got Duke 9-4. No, I'm sorry, Duke 10-2. Wake Forest 5-7. Now, I don't agree with the Wake Forest one. I'm just going to go on record now. So when we're looking back at the season after it's over, I can point and laugh at you guys and say, "Oh yeah, you guys thought that Wake Forest can win 5 games. They only won."
You can't point and laugh at me because I don't have them winning 5 games, but I also don't have Duke winning 10.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. So, but like I said, it's a scientific process, so it is what it is.
It is.
So there you guys have it. We have what do we got now? We got 4 more teams to do. So we're on track here. We got 4 more teams. Who do we have left? We have Cal. Who do we got? Cal, Clemson, Georgia Tech, and Virginia. And then, like I mentioned, if we get a hair up our ass and we want to throw Notre Dame in there, since they play virtually an ACC schedule every year, we can do that. And there are a lot of Notre Dame people that watch this channel, so maybe we'll throw them in there if we have time at the end. But this is the first year we've done this where we're on time, actually.
Yeah.
We're always like scrambling with the last couple of weeks.
We've been on time before, but managed to find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, well, I probably managed to find a way to fuck it up. That's my fault. But we're on schedule.
Well, no. The show goes on and Sea-Dog isn't here and can't do it. But for some reason, Sea-Dog can't keep the show going when you're...
What?
He just said that you can't keep the show going when I'm not here. I think he's able to. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, the best ability is availability.
Yeah. Well, I'll give Sea-Dog credit. He hasn't... Well, have you missed an ACC show since we started the previews? I don't think you have. No, well, last week you did. You missed half the show last week. Or not last week, but last show.
I did.
Well,
I had to work, though.
Yeah.
You were also out of town for one of them, and Sea-Dog couldn't manage to keep the ACC show going.
Yeah. It's okay.
He couldn't be bothered.
It's always straight up like it's a nice surprise whenever we don't have to do it because I'm like, oh, I get a free Tuesday night to myself. No.
Free Tuesday night. Yeah, everybody loves their Tuesday
really.
Nights.
Not really?
Not really. I mean, you got something to do. You're just choosing not to do it.
There you go.
You're shirking your responsibilities, which is not a good habit to get into.
I'm giving myself a
when
little
you are.
treat.
Listen, it's not a good habit to get into when you have a child on the way, sir.
That's true.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now that he's about to have a child, he's going to miss all kinds of shows.
I mean, what are you gonna do when you get left with the kid and you're just like, I don't feel like changing a shitty diaper. I mean, is the kid just gonna walk around for hours with a shitty diaper?
Yes.
No, I'll change his diaper.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, when's the due date for Mrs. Sea-Dog again?
November 6th.
November. Oh man,
So
right during college football season too.
We're almost in the third trimester.
Ooh.
Well, see, I've noticed that happens a lot because both of mine were born in October. So that means during, right after the season ends, when it's still cold outside and you're kind of a recluse in the house, you got nothing better to do but make babies.
Matt Dummett has a great point. Can you tell Mrs. Sea-Dog to please not have the baby on Saturday?
Yeah. So it's going to have to be a tough conversation. If
probably Wednesday would be the best for her to do that. That way you're still here on Tuesday night and on Saturday.
I'll be sure to let her know.
Thank you.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but sometimes you have no choice. I remember, I think it was Riley. I was stuck watching a Miami game in the hospital, and much to Mrs. Shady's chagrin, because she thought she should decide what was on TV, and I just told her to go back to sleep.
Now, if we do an ACC show when you're in the hospital, that'll actually work out well, because then you can put us on camera and let us see your little baby on the show. Premiere Little Sea-Dog on the ACC show. That would be perfect.
Yeah, Sea Dog 2.
I think I did that, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you might have too. Yeah.
I was in the hospital for a midday show.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So just let her know. Wednesday, but anytime between Wednesday and Friday is perfect for me for her to have the baby. So,
Yeah,
just let her know.
Yeah.
Luckily, the due date is.
It's just being considerate, you know?
The due date is on a bye week for Georgia Tech, thankfully. So.
Oh.
Now that's important. That is important.
Boy, you timed that perfectly.
Timed it perfectly, just as I planned.
Just as you planned it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
My wedding worked out that way. It was on Miami's bye week.
My wedding, we freaking lost to Duke that day.
I got married in February because I'm not a communist. That's why.
Well,
I'm not a communist neither, but I didn't marry a college football fan, and she gave no fucks.
Yeah. Actually, the reason I got married in February is because it was about half the cost of getting married in the spring. So
that was Jeff Collins' first year, so I don't really have any regrets.
yeah.
The
Well,
real
you
problem
don't now, but you still had a glimmer of hope in your eye at the time.
Well, the real problem that you don't think about is like, okay, it'll just be, one day or whatever. One day I don't get to see college football. No, because then your freaking anniversary is during the season every time.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not on a Saturday every year, though.
That's true, but still.
Yeah, still. He's right. Oh.
Well, see, that's why I planned the kids the way I did, because Zoe's is a week and a half before our anniversary, and Riley was born the day after our anniversary. Hey, lady, the kids matter more than you do. And she can't argue with that.
I don't know if that's true or not. But there we go, guys. We did it again. Well, we'll be back. Who do you guys want to do next week? Like I just mentioned, we got, 4 left? Yeah. Let's see. We'll do Cal.
Let's do Georgia Tech and Cal next week.
No, we're gonna do Georgia Tech and Clemson last, since it's me and Sea Dog. How about
you want to lump us in with Cal?
How about Cal?
See, I don't think you should. I think you should do a good and a bad team together.
All right. You know what?
Kind of how we've been doing it.
I kind of agree with Slim here. I've been trying to do that every week. One good and one bad team, so it's not just us picking losses all night.
Exactly. That's why I said that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, we did a good and a bad team tonight.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Exactly.
I guess so.
So let's do that. Next week we'll do Cal and Georgia Tech. Okay, and then we'll end the season with Clemson and Virginia. Does that sound good?
There you go. Sounds like a plan, man.
Is that okay with you, Sea Dog? You don't sound too thrilled about it.
No, that works.
All right. So next week, Cal and Georgia Tech, all the Georgia Tech people in the chat, make sure you tune in next week. We're going to be previewing your Yellow Jackets, who are very popular amongst I can't remember the last time I saw so many non-Georgia Tech fans this high on Georgia Tech going into a season.
Yep, get ready for 7-5.
Well, I guess I'm higher on them than you. But all right, we'll see.
No, we'll do better than that, hopefully.
Yeah,
but we should be okay.
All right, good. So there it is. It's solidified. Thank you for coming on, Slim. Appreciate you helping us out.
Yes, sir.
As always. And we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you later, Slim. Everybody, the great Slim Shady Canes. And then, of course, the great Sea Dog. Sea Dog, any last words before we get off here? I guess not.
No.
Can you get your dog to bite that pig toy again?
Dude, come here. Come here, boy. Where's your pig?
Can we see it on camera?
Yeah.
All right, put it on camera. I'll show everybody else.
It'll be funny. He'll freak out. He freaks out when I take it. Give me your pig. That's my pig. He's got it deep in his crate.
What kind of dog is that?
He's like he's a mutt. He's
a mutt.
He's like a boxer. Maybe he has some pit. I don't know.
Dog's gonna bite your face. Lord have mercy. He's about to bite you.
Yeah. He does this every time.
All right. I've seen it though.
Yeah. He doesn't like it when I take his pig.
Give him the pig back, man. What are you doing? All right, Sea Dog, man. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you next week, buddy.
See you later.
All right. And that's going to do it for me as well, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the midday show on my second channel. If you're not subscribed to my second channel, I don't know why you're not. There's a link to it in the description of this video. It's called the Peete Podcast Channel. Check that out. Subscribe to it. And we'll hang out tomorrow for a couple of hours between 11 and 1. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for all the people that support the show through Super Chats and otherwise. And we'll see you tomorrow.